Hello, welcome to Rarely Rad, episode 7. It is Haley and Isabel. And Isabel, you clearly took your pink obsession to a new level with now pink hair.
Yes. So ironically, my pink obsession has actually started to die down. But so last year I colored my hair pink randomly, just temporary dye. And I wanted to do it again this year just because it's kind of just something fun to do and it's a little different. And so it needs more because I think it looks better
It
more
definitely
pink
needs
in
more.
person, but it needs more.
And
But
you
it works
put it
out.
in twice now?
Yeah. And I left it in today for 5 hours.
Are you putting it on your hair when your hair's dry?
No.
Try that.
Okay. Maybe I'll try dry. That
Yeah,
might work better.
because the moisture in your hair from a previous crazy hair dye girly, when your hair is wet, it doesn't soak in as much dye.
Okay.
Think about
Alright.
when you go to a salon, your hair's not wet when you're dyeing it.
Yeah, true. Alright, I'll try it dry. I'll probably do it on Monday or Tuesday. Today is Friday. It's International Women's Day. That's why,
Hey.
go Stingrays.
Did I send you that meme and it was it's international or it's National Women's Month, so send all your women's money or something
I
like
know.
that.
I sent it to Austin and I was like, "Send me money, bitch." And he's like, "I'll heat up you an empanada." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I can do that."
It counts. I also realized since we are recording on Friday, I have a real drink. Hey, and then I realized as we were talking that I have a pink koozie, and I was like, oh, I hate it here. I'm gonna hide this now below so no one can see it in camera.
Your pink obsession. It's seeping onto
Rubbing
you.
off.
Yeah.
I also look like I have a beer when it's really just a cider because we know I ain't a beer girly.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I'm actually currently drinking water. I don't know if I'm doing anything today. So Austin's mom was supposed to come into town, but now she's like, "Oh, I'm not getting there until 8:30." And I'm like, "Well, just come tomorrow at that point, tomorrow
Yeah,
morning." It's I don't want to start the night at 8:30. I want to be in bed by 9.
exactly. Yeah, we're going to P Dog's gym to watch him do the open.
Wow.
Yeah, thrilling. And then we're going to get tacos afterwards. So that's mainly what I'm there for. He'll listen to this, so sorry, P Dog, but I'm mainly going for the tachos.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I'm actually really hungry now that I've been working out again. Then I've been actually running. So obviously weights and stuff, yeah, you do get hungry, but I never forgot how hungry I used to get after cardio.
Hmm.
It's I just wanna, indulge on everything, and now that I'm running again, I'm starving all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, story of my freaking life as a runner girly. And then I wanted to run today, but I just don't have time. And now it's supposed to rain. We've had flood warnings for the last 2 days for tonight. I don't know what thunderstorm or whatever is coming, but all day yesterday, my phone had a flood warning saying it's starting at 8 p.m. Friday night. And I'm like, why are you telling me this on a Thursday? This is
Yeah.
like a future Haley problem. I don't fucking care. But apparently we're about to have some bad rain, and so I don't know if I'll be able to run tomorrow. And it's my first week of half marathon training. I'm like, this is not going to a great start, but
Mhm.
we'll turn it around. It's only the first week. My long run this week was only 5K. So I did that yesterday, and now I just have one more speed run I gotta get in, and we'll see when that happens because no idea. Oh, and I bought my new car this week.
Yay.
So I filled in one of my bingo little things
Mhm.
already for the month of March because one of mine was to register a car in Georgia. So finally did that. I still need to figure out car insurance, but
That's for another day.
that's another day, another time, and something I'm not going to worry about.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. I'm thinking about doing this 10K. I don't know, I'm very on the fence about it.
Have you have you ever run one before?
I've only done 5K, the husky trot.
But when okay, so you did a 5K in high school. That was mandatory for us to do. Got it. But when you were a runner back in the day, when you ran in college, not collegiately, for anyone wondering, fully on her own, what was the distances you were running?
See, that was the thing, people ask me, I don't know, I would just run for 3 hours. I would run until my mom would text me because we lived in, a loop circle, and I know it was 1 mile, a loop. My mom after, a few hours, my mom would text me and just be like, "You should come home now," and I'd be like, "Okay, I'll finish this lap." I never know how far I was running up. For
You
all I
never
know
tracked your
no, for all I could know, I could have been running a marathon, and, I have no idea. I never tracked it. I would
What
run
is
for
wrong with
hours.
you?
I don't know, it was just, like, what I would do. It would be, like, 2 or 3 hours. Like, honestly, it was until my mom would text me to say, "Time to come home."
Like, I've used the Nike Run Club app literally since, like, 2012. In high school, I can go back, I'm pulling it up now. I can go back and tell you, like, how my activity all in
I mean, I've
2012, I did 19 runs. That was a total of 23.6 miles in 4 hours and 47 minutes. I
yeah,
can
no, I
literally
mean
look at each of those runs.
I have no idea. For all I know, I've probably looking at the way I used to run, I've definitely ran the 10K. I mean, 3 hours of running, that sounds like a 10K.
Yeah, girl, 3 hours of running is at least a half marathon, at very
So,
least.
I might have ran a half marathon for all I know.
At the very least, it's a half marathon. Dang, well, so you've done it before, you just haven't tracked it. A 10K, honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I
I got the
mean,
5K
talk
done
to me
real
a year
quick.
ago. Talk to me a year ago, and I would have been like, "Ugh, yeah, I've never done that." But talk to me now. I mean, I can casually do that on a Tuesday. It's
Yeah,
not that bad. It takes a little bit over an hour if you're doing like 10-minute miles, and that's it. It's not taking too much of your time. Like half marathon, that's about 2 plus hours,
yeah.
unless you're fucking cruising. Remember when you said I ran like a 4-minute mile?
Oh, yeah. I was going around telling people Haley was running a 4-minute mile. I was like, "Yeah, it's like 4 minutes or something." And my friends were, like, laughing at me, and I was like, "Wow, I don't get it." And they're like, "Dude, is she like Usain Bolt or something?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And honestly, like, it didn't register to me because, like, my fastest mile was, like, under 6 minutes, like, 5 minutes and something, and that was fast, and I know you're a slower runner. I mean, because you do distance. Like,
Yeah.
I was a speed runner, like, and I don't know why. It's just like
Like,
it's like
a girl could dream, but, like, no.
dude, okay, so I have this Nike hoodie. It's a gray hoodie. I got it. My friend Lauren, her stepdad is
Prime.
some sort of coach, yeah. Some sort of coach of, Colorado,
He's
University of
a football
Colorado?
coach at Colorado, but Isabel
Yeah.
thought he was the head coach, AKA Coach Prime, and was telling people that when LB was
Nobody could this
white.
is what the thing was that, like, nobody was correcting me. They're like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, and it was just like, "Yeah, like, that is cool." But so she had this pile of we were on a football game. Her mom has this pile of, like, T-shirts and hoodies. She's like, "Hey, you, like, wear these to the game. You can keep them." I guess there was one hoodie, the one hoodie that we couldn't keep, which I didn't know, she didn't say anything, and it is my favorite hoodie. I wear this thing all the time. It's just a great I get so many compliments on it. I don't know why. It's just like a simple gray, got a Nike swoosh and then the CU on it, and it's kinda like a not what do they call it? Like a not the turtleneck, but it's got like a
Like a
high
mock neck like
a
this?
mock yeah, but it goes, like, further up on a sweatshirt, like on a hoodie though, you know what I mean?
Like,
I'll
I
post it
mean,
on our Instagram.
low-key, I put this on and I was like, I kinda look like, what's that the guy actor with the that's like
The
a
guy actor.
okay, The Rock. You know, his, like,
Dude,
black sweater with the necklace and, like, the fanny pack and the jeans. I put this shirt on and I had my necklace and I was like, "God damn it,
I
I
look
look
like
like
that
The Rock."
every day. I wear a gold necklace and then a black top and jeans. I'm like, "Wow." And I always say that to myself and in my head, I'm like, "I don't wanna say this out loud because then everybody's just gonna tell me I look like The Rock."
Yeah, I know I rock.
Yeah. No, so anyway, I have this hoodie, I wear it all it's my favorite hoodie. Lauren's always like, "You love that hoodie." Everybody's like, "You love that hoodie." It's just my hoodie, you know? And then I guess Lauren was on the phone with her mom. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Mind you, I got this hoodie back in November. That was when we were in Colorado, like the first week of November. And her mom was like, "Yeah, that was my favorite hoodie." Like, I'm sad. I know. And Lauren was told me, and, Lauren didn't know either. She was like, "Oh my god, mom, you put it in the pile for us to take home, like, what the heck?" And I was just when she told me, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like, I just took this lady's favorite hoodie." To be fair, I totally get why it's her favorite hoodie. It's I don't know what it is, it's like the bee's freaking knees. And now I'm like, "Do I give it back?"
How long after did she mention it?
So we went November 4th, and she said this first week of March to Lauren. She obviously didn't say it to me. So it's been so long.
Oh, no.
I know, and so then today she was on the phone with her mom. I went to meet up with Lauren to go to the gym, and she was on the phone with her mom,
Were
and
you
I was
wearing
like,
a hoodie?
"No."
Okay.
I almost did, but I was like, "Should I get do you want your hoodie back?" And she, like, didn't realize that Lauren had told me that I took it, that she was like, "Oh my god, Lauren, I can't believe you told her that she, like, took my hoodie." She was like, "Keep it," and I was like, "Okay." But I kinda feel
Isn't
bad.
her mom
Like,
cool though?
yeah, her mom's like yeah, her mom's super cool.
Yeah,
Her mom's, like, 45.
yeah. Didn't and, like, can't she just get another?
Probably. I don't know what it is about that hoodie. You gotta wear it to know.
It did,
Magic.
I had one. Oh my god. I have it sit right here.
I know I saw that you bought that. That's so you.
If you're not watching, I bought a one of one leather fully FSU jacket. It was made in the 80s, early or late 80s, early 90s, by a company called Ringside. And apparently the NCAA was like looking at a partnership with Ringside with some collegiate schools. And one of them was FSU. So this was just one of the samples they made. And I found it on Poshmark. I paid a very large amount. But in all honesty, I was thinking about it. I paid a little bit less, but we'll say $300. People buy aloe sweat sets for $300.
Yeah, what? I have an Alice sweater, it's $100.
Yeah,
Granted, it's good quality and, like, it doesn't get, like, bitty and, like, stuff, so, like, I'm willing to pay for good quality. But
absolutely.
I don't think less than $300, let's say $300, I think for a good quality jacket is a very reasonable price. My barber jacket was I mean, I didn't pay for it, it was a Christmas present, but that was between, like, 4 and 500, and it's like, I've
And
had
this
that
is a
thing
one
for
of one.
7
Like
years.
literally
That's an
no one
antique.
could ever buy this other than me. And it's a men's extra large, aka it'll fit me my entire life.
Right.
And I told my friends if they ever want to borrow it, it's $10.
Rent the runway.
Sorry. This is mine. I
For those
paid.
of you that are not watching, we will post little pictures. I'll post one in my little hoodie. Haley will post her in her jacket so that you can get, like, the visual.
Yeah, then we'll have something to actually post on our Instagram.
Yeah. One thing, so you were saying so you can wear this jacket for the rest of your life and, like, even when you're pregnant. One thing I was thinking about yesterday is pregnant women, even when they're very newly pregnant, always hold their hand under their stomach, and I was like, "Wait, life hack, when I am bloated, I should just do that."
Yeah,
And then
that's half of the photos of me the night we went out to Music on the Rocks in Italy. That's what I'm doing. Because remember when we were taking photos before the night and you literally told me I had to suck in more?
I said inhale.
Yeah, okay. We're taking photos. Isabel's taking them. We're on the rooftop in Positano, whatever. And Isabel goes, yeah, maybe inhale more.
Okay, to be fair, all I did was give a couple looks, and I guess Haley has figured out because this happened twice where I was doing that happened once with this drink where I was like looking at the drink for a little too long, and Haley's like, "Why are you looking at it?" And I'm like, "There's dirt in it," and I
I'm
ruined
dead.
the drink for the
We
whole
did
table.
pulled a plant from the fucking ground and put it in my mojito.
Mine too. There was like a little like
Mine was worse than
spoil.
yours, though.
Oh, I mean, they were all pretty bad. There was just like pieces of soil just floating around. And so
Yeah,
Haley's like,
we would.
"Why are you staring at the drink?" And I was like, "There's dirt in it." And I guess I gave that exact same look when I was taking pictures. Haley's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Maybe just inhale a little bit."
With that, also never go to Max in Positano. Honestly, if you go to Positano, don't eat.
It's Positano.
Oh, Positano.
Also, look, Positano is a beautiful town.
Just don't eat there.
It has become so commercialized, is that the word? So touristy that it's just all Americans, and it's not
Yeah.
even it's like Americans that, like, have never left the country type of, like I mean, like, not, like, well-traveled, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, it's like, "Oh, hi, I came here for the Blue Man
well,
Group."
that's like
Like,
our
you
neighbors that
know?
we met that go literally every year. Carol and what was the guy's name?
Dale?
Yeah, Dale and Carol, who live in fucking Virginia, and they go there every year for like 3 weeks. That says a lot about
They stay in the same
Positano.
place, they go to the same restaurants.
Yeah, which they apparently have found really good restaurants there. We did not in our short stay. But yeah, that's what I was doing the whole time we were there. Is I was like, when we were out at Music on the Rocks, maybe I'll have to post that photo too. We'll have to do like a photo dump of what we talked about episode 7. But there's multiple photos of me holding my baby. That was
Food baby.
that was not
To be
real
fair, we had also just eaten at an basically all-you-can-eat buffet restaurant called Al Tagliatelle, something like that. Awful. Worst
This
place I've
is
ever had food in my life.
we learned on that trip, we got to stop listening to 12-year-olds on TikTok and where to eat.
Yeah, maybe from now on we go to like Yelp and not TikTok. They're like a hidden place in Italy, and this 12-year-old is like their first time going to Italy. Like, what were you thinking? If you think about it, like, what was the logic behind us being like, oh,
Honestly, we can't be blamed. We
no,
just
we're
showed
Venmo
up.
friends.
Yep. We just showed up. We arrived. We did what people said to do. It was bad. We can
Greece,
complain, but we can't be blamed.
Greece was way better. Greece was beautiful. Greece is one
Oh,
of those countries. I feel like in my last episode, I think I mentioned that there's not a lot of places that I would re-travel to, not because I don't like them, but because I think I've done it. I'd like to try something new. Greece is one of those places I think I could go forever,
yeah.
like multiple times.
That's how we had. So our first night in Greece when we were arriving, we were gonna have a whole travel day. So we were like, oh, instead of like having to get ready for dinner and stuff, we'll book a chef to come cook for us in our house. And all you like kind of got to choose a menu and how many courses you wanted and everything. And we choose this guy, Chef Alex, or well, yeah, kind of that's how that happened. And all of a sudden, so we get there and he's there, like we're checking in. He's also there to get ready to start cooking for us. It's not Chef Alex. Via
Well,
social media, we can tell this guy is a completely different guy. It's like looking at my social media and Isabel showing up.
the the thing with this guy that was like the picture that they showed, he had like a chiseled jaw, like some facial hair, like brown, like kind of like Greek god vibes, you know? And this guy showed up, he's like
He was like an 18-year-old
he was
little
18.
boy. Yeah. No, that
He literally
was
said he was 18, and he were like, "Oh, where'd you learn to cook?" He's like, "I've been working in my parents' kitchen for a long time." And then
yeah,
we
and
remember we
things
even
were
asked him,
adding up. And then we asked him, we were like, oh yeah, we saw on your Instagram, blah, 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 like did this. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally went with it. And then one of us was like, wait, what's your Instagram? And he was like, well, one of you already knew it. I can go look. And it was like,
like he was like, "Yeah,
everyone knows their Instagram handle.
this guy,
Little
yeah."
not Alex boy.
I know. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know my Instagram handle." I'm like, "How do you not know? It's probably just your name and first name and last name." And
But
then
his
one of our
name is
other
Alex.
friends, that's the thing.
So
This guy was an imposter. And then our friend was like, "Will you marry me?" And he was just like, "No."
good old chef, not Alex.
That was
And
honestly weird if you think about it. Like that could have been like
oh
human
yeah,
trafficking.
we could have died by the Greek mob.
I was trying to the Italian mob.
Yeah. I caught up on Love is Blind yesterday. Uh,
Wow,
okay,
I
kind
was
of lame that
shocked.
they only
Kind
put
of.
out one episode, but it was a long ass episode. I mean, Jimmy and Chelsea.
I thought they were gonna make it to the altar at least.
I thought so too, but I think it was responsible. If you have not watched the latest episode of Love is Blind, do not listen right now because we got
Spoiler
some
alerts.
yeah, spoilers now. But and we're recording this on March 8th. So any episodes that come out after this, I think is just the reunion, right?
Yeah.
Which hopefully comes out next week. But yeah. I thought, I mean, they cut it off at such I remember we talked about it because you're like, do you think she's gonna say yes or no? Like they cut it off right then. And I thought she was gonna say yes, like I still want to marry you, which she did. And then Jimmy was like, I don't.
I thought she was gonna say no, honestly. It kinda made me think, I was like, "She's gonna say no," and I thought he was gonna say yes, and I will say, like, they're both suck as people. To be fair, like, I mean, not to be fair, like, they just went on this whole picking out their music for their wedding, and
Well,
an
and that's
hour
what she said.
later
She was like, we just walked through our songs that we're walking into. And then you hit me with this? They did it at what was it, Carowinds? Is that where
Carowinds is a theme park.
yeah. I had an advertisement come up that was like, before I watched the episode, that was like, do a similar date as Jimmy and Chelsea on Love is Blind did at Carowinds, whatever it's called, and blah, blah, blah. And then I watched the episode and I was like, who wants to go on a date there now? No one. This is bad advertisement. They clearly did not watch the recent episode.
Yeah, no, that was,
That's where their engagement ended.
yeah, it's rough.
And again, makes me wonder, like we talked about last episode, is there a fine still, or did that change for season 6 versus season 7? Where if you or season 6 versus season 5, whereas if you get engaged in the pods, you have to show up to the altar or you get a $50,000 fine.
I'm
Because
sure there's a clause, like, if we break up prior, it's fine. Because otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense.
yeah, well, and then of course Johnny and Amy, the most beautiful little love story there is, and then Clay and AD.
Okay, one thing about Johnny and Amy, I did not like her dress.
I mean, me either, but that's like what she was going for. Like she wanted to be like a fairy tale princess, and that's why she had a crown and shit. I would
I
never.
just, like, my thought was not even just that, it was, like, the cold shoulder. When was the last time you wore a cold shoulder shirt?
Yeah, I didn't hate her dress overall, I would say. I think it was fitting for what the vibe she wanted, and she's young.
Is she? I thought she was our age.
She's younger than us.
I don't think so. I think she's, like, 26, 27.
Oh yeah, she's 28.
Yeah, I mean, she's old enough to know that that ain't it.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think I've ever had the dream of having a fairy tale wedding. That's
No,
not
me
what
either.
I'm going for. I'm not going to wear a crown. I don't want to be a princess. It was really cute that her dad and her brother walked her down the aisle.
Yes. Quick thing, off topic. I'm stripping the sheets on my guest bed. That's why it looks like shit back here. I apologize in advance.
No one's paying attention.
No one's paying attention. But I
Uh,
noticed it just now and I was like, man, that's bad.
People that watch the video, they don't expect anything from you, is.
I don't expect anything from me.
But I did. You know who looked good in her dress? AD.
Yeah. She
I
was very
mean,
pretty.
that slit, girl, she
I
had the
will say
perfect
that's
legs
a
for
very
that.
high slit for a wedding dress. I don't think I've ever seen a wedding dress with a slit that high. There's a lot of wedding
It
dresses, they
looks good
seem,
on
like,
her though.
modest. No, I agree. I'm just saying, in general, I haven't seen a slit that high on a wedding dress. I thought so initially I thought that she was just gonna say no because, I mean, the amount of red flags that he verbally expressed, I mean, I thought but then it seemed like they kinda worked past that. It seemed like he had worked past that. And it
Even
seemed
when
he
he
was
was
like,
up on the altar and she was about to walk down, and her mom was like, "You look so good" to him, and he was like, "Do I look like a husband?"
I know. That I thought he was gonna say yes. That's why I was so surprised that he said no. The way he was acting, he was in the like getting ready for the wedding. He's like, "She's made me into such a better person. Like I didn't know I could be this person, etc., etc." Like I was like, "Oh, like he seems to really be in love with this girl." But one thing I didn't understand was he saying that, "Yes, I want to still be with you, but no, I'm not ready to get married." Or
Yes.
okay, that was what I took that as too. Which
That's
I honestly,
totally
I
what I
will say
took.
I think that's respectable. I think that's fair. But also, listen
I
to
do
this.
too, but then why did you let it get all the way to the altar?
Also, okay, also, not even that is such a band's moment because okay, you walk up, you know what, just say yes because the wedding is paid for, the divorce is paid for. You choose to get married down the line. Now you have to pay for a wedding and a prenup because the prenup was already set in stone. You have to if the marriage doesn't work out, then you have to pay for the divorce. Like if y'all would have both just said yes right there, if it didn't work out, like I mean, you had the prenup was
AD
already
was
written.
singing bands and Clay wasn't.
I know.
Clay thinks he has all these damn side hustles that he's good. He don't need to be bands. He's
It,
got his life set. No, Clay.
everything was free right then and there, and now that if they want to get married in the future, they're gonna have to pay for everything.
Clay's mom, slay.
I like her.
Slay. The way that she leaned into Clay's dad and was
I
like,
know.
you need to talk to Clay because he has demons because of you. And his dad and Clay, they talk the exact same.
Yeah,
They
no, his dad sucks.
and well, and in turn, Clay kind of sucks. They literally talk the exact same, except it's one of those things that like at least Clay's like 30 or whatever. You're grown. Get it the fuck together. And then when his dad was like, well, if he meets the right girl, like he'll get it right, whatever. It's just like how I met you. And his mom
She's
was like,
like,
you met me, but you still mistreated me. I was like, girl, mic
I
drop. Yeah.
know. That
Yes,
dad,
yes, yes.
terrible man, terrible human being. I think,
Like,
I think Clay is actually like not a bad person. I think that's the difference between, like, Clay and his dad is, like, Clay is aware of these issues, and I don't even think it's that he can't be faithful, he just watched his dad be so unfaithful that he's like
He has
he doesn't
demons.
know how to handle it, and yeah, all his dad has to talk to him and be like, "That was a me issue, like, my flaws don't like, aren't your flaws."
Yeah, they're not genetic.
It's yeah, it's not a
Cheating is
genetic
not
trait.
genetic, Clay.
Bad
Yeah.
bad marriage isn't a genetic trait. I think a lot of people don't, like, kinda realize that sometimes.
Yeah, well, and that's even, like, what his dad was saying. He was like, "Well, like, where we both came from," and his mom was like, "But we can put an end to it. He is carrying demons from our relationship due to you, and you need to talk to him," and she was like, he does not need excuses. He needs you to apologize. That is
Yeah.
what he needs. That is what he's dealing with. And I don't know her name, but slay.
Margarita, I think her name was.
Margarita Slay. Slay Oakley.
One thing also is, like, I think as people, we have to stop blaming our past on, like, our present issues. Like, yeah, of course, like, your past kind of
No, I think
reflect
you're
onto
wording that poorly. We need to stop blaming our present issues on our past.
yeah, I think yeah, it can definitely I mean, of course, like, your past is gonna influence, but it's your choice to make it as influential as possible. Like, you can, like I mean, it's just, like, basic just understanding of, like, what you're doing. I think the difference is Clay is, like, kind of understanding that, and his dad is just like, "Well, I don't know, I want like, you saw where I came from, I had no reason to be any better than I was." Like, "Yeah, you did. You could have been better if you wanted to be better. You chose not to." I think
Yeah.
Clay wants to be better. I think he makes that very clear, he
I
wants to be
do.
better.
Do you think so reunion's coming, do you think they're together?
I hope so, actually. I kind of ended up liking them. I didn't like him at all in the beginning, but I think towards the end, it seemed like he seemed to really, like, love her, but also, I don't want her to be I mean, Dua Lipa said it best, "Training season's over." Like, tired of training these men. Just be a fucking man. Like, I'm tired of training you to be the person that
That
you
you should be.
obviously that you should be. Like, I can't mold you to be into being something that you're not, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, with my ex, we used to always joke that I was, like, training him to do things. He did not like that, but
But I think that's the case for a lot of relationships is like, I think a lot of it is like we see the potential in these men, which is like, I know this is the person that you can be, like, why don't you want to be that person? And I think especially, like, you and I are especially lately, have been like, I know the person that I can be, and I'm striving to be that person, so I need you to make the same leaps for yourself.
well, yeah, and you don't as someone that's always trying to better themselves, you don't wanna be with someone that, like, doesn't care about
Exactly, like, I'm not gonna pull you on a sled like a child, like,
yeah,
that's me holding myself back.
like, I have drive, if you don't have drive, then I'm not interested,
Yeah. Training season's
period.
over.
I didn't know Dua Lipa said that.
Yeah, it's a song, it's actually a really good song.
I'm surprised you know it. Big
I've been
miss
jamming to it hard. I don't really listen to music
It's
for
one
y'all
of
that
the
don't
3
know.
songs you know. It's on your
Yeah,
rotation
seriously.
now. Let's go,
Um,
girls.
that's,
Dua
like, my
Lipa.
favorite song. I saw this TikTok, it was, like, these radio hosts, and they're in New Zealand, and they're basically doing, like they're about to start Let's Go Girls, and he started it and then started talking over the Let's Go Girls part, and the other 2 hosts were, like, freaking out. This is, like, live on radio, and they, like, caught it on video too. They're like, "You can't just, like, talk over Let's Go Girls, like, that's, like, what you get pumped up for." And,
Yeah.
like, I can't remember exactly, but they ended up having to restart the song 3 times live on national radio because the guy just, like, didn't get it. But it was super funny. But yeah, and then Shania Twain commented on TikTok and was like, "I feel really disrespected."
Do you think it
She's
was
like
actually
she like
her or do you think it was her media team?
yeah.
I wanna get back to painting. That's
Yeah.
something that I have on my bingo card, which isn't hard to do, but I just have to do it, and it's just one of those things that, like, takes time, and I feel like every day I'm like, "I got this to do, this to do, this to do," and I don't sit down and, like, have time to go paint.
I
But
don't
then
have
and then
any
there's part of me too
creativity.
with, like, such a business mindset, I'm like, I painted that really, really cool Halloween entrance rug, and so then I'm like, "Do I start painting things and selling them on Etsy?" That's just where my mind goes, and then because then I'm making money, but also doing something I enjoy.
Yeah.
which is like what I was doing through social media for a while when I was running social media for like the real estate agent and the showroom, everything. But there's also I feel like there's this fine line between doing something as a hobby and making money versus it becoming a job and
Yeah.
it no longer fun. And I know like with Etsy, you can at least pause your store. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, you can pause it and stuff. But I don't know. That's definitely something in the back of my mind where I'm like, oh, I could get into this.
The only time I feel like this thing is a freaking chore is when Riverside screws us over. I'm like, I don't have any problem editing the podcast. Like, yeah, it
I
takes some time, but
swear
it's
it's
like
every
whatever.
fucking episode. And we're like,
Fuck you,
excuse me,
Riverside.
Riverside, ding.
Like, take a shot for every time Riverside screws you over. I'd be hammered.
I'm editing minute 1.
It's been such a mess, and I don't really know where we go from here with that. Like, we've been using CapCut, which is just a TikTok video editor, which has actually worked well, but
It's
it's
not collaborative.
it's not collaborative. So one of us ends up having to do it all, which I don't think we really mind in that sense. But like, we have busy schedules too on top of it. You know, it's like
We're
Haley's
just
traveling next week.
girls.
I know we're just busy, like productive girlies. One thing I was thinking that bothers me. I was
Oh,
walking, doing my own thing, as one does. And these stupid men with their stupid cars that they feel they need to be so loud. It is such a turnoff to me. The man is just revving his engine. Like, you're going 3 miles up the road. Where are you like what are you doing?
I agree, but I hate more when someone honks at me. And it's one thing, I think it's one thing if I'm running. Like, give me that support. I need that support right now because I'm trying to breathe and live. But if I'm walking, don't honk at me. Don't.
It's weird because I know
Unless-
you're like making it weird.
Yeah.
What do
Like,
you think is gonna happen? Like, or catcalling? I hate the catcalling.
yeah. And where's it? You have to do it because it has to work. But who's it working on?
I don't know. I guess it probably
Where is
works
your
on
success
people in
rate?
like the 30s or something.
No, there's
And
no
let's be
way.
honest, I mean, that's my only thought. Like, men haven't evolved their game since like the 30s. I always wonder what like the weirdest. I think I'm gonna start asking people like, what is your weirdest Uber, like from a driver? Like, what is your weirdest like ride
Story?
that you've had to do? Like, have you like had to pick up a girl that like just found out her boyfriend got like she was just crying the whole time? Like, oh, one thing, American Airlines right now is doing like this thing. If you buy your ticket on Tuesday and it will only cost you 5,000 air miles.
I did see on TikTok, because obviously that's all my news, that it was like, if you have any American Airlines miles, this is your chance to use them or whatever.
Yeah, well, so it's like 5,000 each way, so it's 10,000 really, which is actually a lot of air miles. But
Is it?
I mean, I guess it depends on what like to Jacksonville from Charlotte is like 13,000 air miles.
That is kind of a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, like, but if you're using like 10,000 to go to like I don't know Hawaii, like that's a good deal because you
Yeah.
would originally be because it equates to close to like I think you can buy I don't know actually no I'm not even gonna throw that out there because it's gonna be completely wrong, but like a 5,000 to like if I were like we were kind of talking about it like well maybe we'll even one of the things I want to do this year is go to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico, so I was like well maybe this is like our time to do it. We got a lot of air miles and we travel
I
for
want to
work, so we
go.
accumulate a lot of air miles. So I was like well
Are you
maybe like
booking
we'll
it?
just do. I haven't booked it, but I'm thinking about it. But it has
I
to be in
want to
April or
go.
May. You want to
Okay.
go with my boyfriend and I?
What about my boyfriend and I?
Well, we can all go together.
Yeah.
It has to be in like April or May, and I know we have a couple things going on in May. Obviously, I'm traveling for work. He's got a bachelor party, but so we're like looking into it. And we just got to pay for the place to go. But I'm like thinking like all inclusive resort vibes, obviously. And then I'm
Yeah.
gonna go buy some Xanax
Why April or May?
because those are the only months that the special is active for.
Fucking lame. I don't
I
even have the
know.
special.
Do you even have? Do you have American Airlines?
No.
Yeah, that's your first problem.
But I wanted to go to Mexico.
It would probably cost you like honestly, you can look at like if it only cost you like $200 to buy 5,000 air miles, that's like a $200 flight.
But April's like really busy.
Yeah, I know. I think April is going to be our only month to be able to do it. May is really busy for us, and like I mean that's why I was like we need to look on like when his mom's coming this weekend, so we'll look like when she leaves, like Monday or Tuesday, looking into getting something.
No, I'm
Yeah, because
looking at
April's kind of like it for me. Yeah, in April, we have skinny.
Yeah, I know.
God, I just need, like, men to Venmo me because it's International Women's Day. Like, why aren't you sending me money? Why
You should put your
am I
Venmo
ever
on
gonna
your Twitter.
Yeah, I used to every once in a while, like last year or not last year, like when I was, like, younger, I'd send $1 request to all my friends for their friendship contract renewal. Nobody Venmoed me back.
There's the joke that, like, a woman or girl enters TJ Maxx or Marshalls and, like, they immediately have to shit.
Yeah,
If I enter the airport, I'm hungry.
I am too.
It doesn't I could
Actually,
have had a full meal prior to the airport. I get in the airport, I'm hungry. I don't know what it
I'm the
is.
sa also, if I'm on a car ride, 2-hour car ride, I'm like, "Holy shit, I need to eat."
I think for me with the airport, it's this mind thing where I'm like, "Holy shit, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to eat next." And so I'm like, "I have to eat now." But I
Yeah,
get so hungry when I'm at the airport that I'm like, I'm gonna die if I don't eat anything. And so obviously I get a bagel pretty much every single time.
I love bagels.
Me too. And if I could eat a bagel mainly with cream cheese, like not just a bagel, but like a bagel with cream cheese every day, I would.
Yeah,
And never
I have
think
bagels right now, but they've, like, ran out of, like, the garlic chive cream cheese spread, now they only have the plain one, which is fine, but it sounds great.
I don't discriminate on cream cheese. I can eat all cream cheese, any cream cheese, it doesn't matter. I love them all.
Dude, okay, so there's this inflatable boat that came up on Austin's Instagram feed, as advertised, and
The
he's
same
like,
size as the boat you went on for your birthday?
bigger than that, but it's inflatable, right? And so
Does
I'm
it have a
like,
motor?
yes. Well, it's like electric powered and it's like sun powered at the same time. I don't know. And he was like, I think I'm gonna buy this. And he's like, it's only $300. It fits 6 people. And I was like, okay, like that's not terrible, like whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's $300 a month. And I was like, okay, that's very different than $300. I was like, how much is it? He's like, well, it's 12 grand, but they'll give it to me for 8 grand. I was like, so what happens when it pops? And he's like, well, I'm looking at the reviews. It says that like it's in some unpoppable material.
It's just like a dog toy when it's indestructible, and then your dog has it for fucking 10 minutes and it's destroyed.
Literally. And he was like, do you want to go half on it? No, I don't want to go half on this. No, I don't even
No,
want you to go any in it.
just buy a real boat.
That's what I said. I was like, you can probably buy a real boat for 8 grand. Like, yeah, it won't be phenomenal, but like at least you have a real freaking boat.
Yeah, that doesn't hit a rock and pop.
Exactly. And this one, like, it's like, like I was like, Austin, this is an absolute joke. And then yesterday we were on a walk with one of our friends and we like talked about it and he showed her and she used to own a boat and she was dying. She was like, she's like, this couldn't have looked any worse than I actually thought it was going to. I will also be posting the picture of this inflatable boat on our Instagram because y'all will see and y'all will be like, he's like, well, you could fold it up. It only weighs 300 pounds. And I'm like, yeah, who are you expecting to help you carry that? Not me. You can put that
Have
in
you
my car.
seen these linguini arms?
Yeah, like I did arm day once this week, and like that's probably like once in this whole year. Let's be honest. Like, and I was like, "Where are you gonna put it? My car?"
Austin doesn't go to the gym,
Austin doesn't
so
go to the gym,
so
and
who's left to
he
fix?
doesn't own a car. Like, it's going in my car. Like, what the heck is this thing gonna do? And then I was like, no. And then I was like, we're also not gonna live in Charlotte. Like, and he's like, okay, we'll float down the Hudson River in New York in this inflatable thing. I was like,
Also,
no,
wherever you live in New York, this thing's gonna take up half of the
exactly,
apartment.
absolutely absurd. I was like,
Yeah,
no, no.
it's a no dog. But if I hear you guys have gone missing,
Yeah,
the first
it's
place
because we
we're gonna
flew
look
away.
the first place we're gonna look is in the nearest lakes in Charlotte
Yeah.
and Austin's credit card to see if this boat was said purchased because wow. Boys just are wow.
I know. Well, I was like, if it's $300, like, sure.
Yeah,
$300 a month, 8 grand, no.
no, no. And
Completely
it's not a
different.
deal if it was 12 grand and now it's 8 grand. No,
Yeah,
it's 8 grand now
no.
for a reason. It's because that shit pops.
He's like, the reviews are so good. I was like, no,
No.
just no.
Go buy a $10 fucking tube and kick your feet around, and then that can be your boat.
I literally said, I was like, why don't we just tie our tubes to our friend's boat? Like, what? I was like, no, this is an absolute joke. This is not happening.
And on that note, That's it for episode 7. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye all.
Bye.